actually doing two projects in this video, and the first one is a 6x6 metal frame that I picked up for $1 at a garage sale, and this is a little bit different because I'm going to have to seal this from the front. But it was a pretty big mess, so I took it out to the garage and I did spray paint it white. Took a couple coats of spray paint, and after that had dried, I had to put the glass on the back of it and kind of hold it in place to steady it. And then I set it on this tape roll, and I actually had to seal it with clear Elmer's glue around the perimeter because you cannot seal it from the back. This I let dry for 24 hours. Now the next frame was a 12 by 5.5 inch frame that I had also picked up at a garage sale. I removed the back, I removed the glass, I cleaned up the glass, and then I took regular Elmer's glue and put it around the perimeter of the back of the frame where the glass would sit. Then I replaced the glass and put Elmer's glue around the perimeter one more time. Now this needs to dry overnight and sometimes up to 24 hours depending on how much glue you use. It serves two purposes. It helps to hold the glass in place, and it helps to prevent resin leaks when you put resin on the other side. The resin will permanently adhere the glass to the frame when you do put the resin on. Next, I print up the words "Be Mine" on my CRICUT machine, and I put it onto the glass. Now, for those of you who don't have a CRICUT, don't worry about it. In about 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how to do it without using the CRICUT machine, and honestly, it looks just as nice. I did take painter's tape and put it around the back of the perimeter of the glass as an extra precaution against resin leaks. And for the square one, I printed up this for also off the CRICUT, but I just put it on regular paper and taped it to the back of the glass. So here I'm going to show you how you can do it if you do not have a CRICUT, because I've been doing a lot of glass art using my CRICUT machine, and a lot of you don't have CRICUTs, and I just want to show you how easy it is to do by just placing the image behind the glass, the words. So here I have a marker, and it's an oil-based marker, and that's the only kind of a marker I will use when working with glass, because I've found that a lot of the other ones will run when you put the resin on. So now I'm making it look real simple, but after you have put the image down, you have to look at it, hold it up to the light, and go over it again with your marker. And you have to let this dry completely before you go back over it, or else it will pull up the marker that you've put down if it's still wet. So I actually go over this 3 or 4 times because it looks like it's really dark, especially if you're holding it down like that. But you have to pick it up and hold it up to the light, and it'll show the spots that you have missed. And you can see the clear Elmer's glue around the perimeter. Don't worry, the resin will totally cover that up. That's what's great about using clear Elmer's glue. And next I cut out the bumblebee shape that I want to use for this project, and I place it on the glass. And this is the wrong way to do it, but I'm keeping it in here to show you so that you know not to do it this way. And I've messed up doing it this way one other time when I was trying to do the sailboat, so I don't know why I did it again. So here I am tracing it out, and I use the nippers to cut it, but it's in your best interest and here I'm trying to show you these nice new nippers and how the glass doesn't fly, how it holds on to it, and look at it, it just shattered it. So don't cut your glass this way up and down. The best way to do it, and I'll show you at the very end, is cut it around the perimeter to get your big pieces first, and then put your tracer on top of it. So here's my piece that I got by accident, and and I'm putting my little bumblebee on it and tracing it out, and then I'm going to use my nippers to cut it out. And now with these nippers you'll be able to see how the rubber part of it holds on to the other piece of glass so it doesn't fly. So you can see the kind of teal blue. So it actually holds on. I don't know if I'm showing you very good. I'm going to show you a close-up now. So yeah, so you just nip right around the little marks that you made, and the teal, the rubber will hold on to it, and then you can just drop it. Can you see that? I had put a video on Facebook out about the nippers. The lady Sonia on Dragonfly Designs had actually demonstrated the nippers, and you can see here, so it holds on to it and then you drop it. The glass actually doesn't fly, so it's a lot safer to use. And then what I do is I just keep on nipping around the drawing that I made so that I get the shape of the bumblebee. And I do this with the head of the bumblebee also. And next I'm going to speed it up so that you can see me nipping around the head of the bumblebee. And it is jagged. I do end up taking it out to the garage to file down a little bit. So here I am nipping away at the head of the bumblebee. And you just nip around until you get it the way you want it. So next I'm going to cut the glass for the wings for the same bumblebee. And I have the little piece of paper cut out. I have my glass, and this time I'm going to cut the glass the right way so you can see where I originally was going to do the body. But this time, this is what I mean when I say cut it around the glass, like that. And then you'll get a big chunk, hopefully big enough for whatever you're doing, and then go ahead and place your object on top of it and cut it out. And here I'm just trying to get 2 wings. I'm switching it around the other way so that I can get 2 wings, and then just draw it out and then nip around your drawing. And here I'm just speeding it up because I think you get the picture, and I end up cutting out 2 wings for the bumblebee. Then for the bee on the smaller project, I actually just kind of wing it. I cut a piece of glass and draw my own little oval on there and nip around it to create the body of the bee. And then I think I ended up just pulling a couple pieces of glass out of the bottom that just happened to look perfect for the wings. I don't end up making heart wings on it, but I found those 2 at the bottom, and I may have had to nip them a little bit. And those are going to be the wings for the second bumblebee. And I think those will work perfect. Then I take them outside. I have a stained glass grinder, and I just go around the edges to take the sharp edges off. I don't want anyone to cut their fingers. And if you don't have a grinder, you can use like a little nail file or sandpaper or sanding stone and just go around it. It's such small pieces, it would just take a minute to do that. And so, but I just take it out and do it in the grinder outside because I do happen to have one. And everything I use in this video, I will link under the description. The other thing you can do with this glass is throw it in the tumbler if you're tumbling some other glass to begin with, and that'll take the sharp edges right off. Then I take all the pieces inside, I wash them, I dry them, and then I take rubbing alcohol and wipe them off really good with 99% isopropyl alcohol, just to make sure there's no nothing on them, oils or anything that the resin won't stick to. The isopropyl alcohol will remove the marker marks, whereas soap and water will not. Next, I take them back out to the garage and use the TAMIYA translucent yellow spray paint, PS42. A little out of focus. There it is, translucent yellow. This is highly concentrated, and you really only need like 1 or 2 fast coats. It doesn't bubble up if you go over it a second time like the Krylon does. Spray paint does not run, it does not fade, it does not need to be sealed. It is really nice. And I take the Artist Loft Iridescent Medium. I picked this up at Michael's, and I put a coat. Actually, I end up with 2 coats of paint on the wings, the bee's wings. And this is a really nice semi-transparent white glittery paint, iridescent paint to put on if you're looking for white that will stay kind of transparent. It works out really great for wings. And so like I said, 1 coat, let it dry, and then I did put a 2nd coat on. And again, I take my oil-based black marker and draw the stripes on the bumblebees. And again, you have to hold this up to the light and look and see if you've missed any spots, because when it's laying flat, it looks like it's filled in all the way. So on this one, I ended up hand drawing the little dots, and I did hand draw the antennae on the top of the bumblebee's head, and filled in the black stripes. And on the other one, here I am just putting the stripes on, and I do end up putting some little antennae on that too, and a little stinger at the end. And then I put the little wings on to make sure they're going to look okay on both of them. And then they're pretty much done and ready for the resin. So the resin I'm using for this project is art resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio resin that you mix slowly in a cup, scraping the sides, scraping the bottom to ensure thorough mixing. The lower you mix it, the less bubbles you'll have. Then I just poured it on the project. I took the bees off first, used my little silicone spreader to spread it out, make sure you get in all the corners and up around the side. The project needs to be perfectly level so that it doesn't all go to one side and maybe not go into the corners. Sometimes I'll use a spoon to spread it around. Sometimes I'll use my gloved hand. I use the kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles. And after I'm done with the project, I always come back every 15 minutes for an hour, check placement of the glass, I check for sediment, I check for bubbles, and retorch if needed. And here I'm putting the little bumblebees on now and putting a little bit of resin over the top of them to hold them in place. And I like all the glass to be nice and shiny. And this resin, art resin, cures best at temperatures between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It needs to be on a flat level surface overnight. Within about 12 hours you can touch it. It does take a full 72 hours to cure. The temperature in the room really affects it. If it's cold, it might take longer to set. And you need to read the directions for the resin that you are using. All resins are different.
Hey everyone. So I've been trying to think of different Valentine things besides hearts, because I feel like hearts have been done every single way. Not that I don't like them, I think they're pretty. But anyway, so I've been using my CRICUT machine a lot to make lettering, and I just wanted to show you that if you don't have a CRICUT, you can still do it. I mean, you could do it with a stencil, or you can print up the wording, and I mean, you can even go into Microsoft Word and print it up in any font that you want and print it out. And I forget where I got this from. I might have got this from my CRICUT, it printed the back of it, but you can find free clip art and different things like that. And so you saw that I put it on the back and then traced it out on the front. And the main thing when you're doing that is to take the backing off and hold it up to light, because 9 times out of 10 you'll see through it. So then you can go over it and go over it. And the other problem that I've had is I've thought, you know, it was all covered, it looked good, resined over it, and then picked it up again, and oh, there was empty spots. So instead of going on the front and messing up your resin, what I did was, not on this one, but on other ones, I did a ballerina, and I had to do that. It just, you could see through it. I didn't have enough coverage on something. and it was actually paint. So you can do that with the wording, or I think it was the ballerina's dress. You could kind of see through. So I just put the paint on the back. And with this, you can just take your marker and cover over the areas that you can see through. So there are ways of fixing it if you are to mess up, and trust me, I've messed up. And these are the oil-based markers. I've had problems with other markers running. If you get the oil-based markers, Sharpie oil-based markers, I think are might be a little better than the ones I used in this video, but this works also. And the little bee, isn't he cute? And I love the big bee on this. I almost thought, oh, maybe I should have put some more things in there, like some hearts or something. But all in all, I think they turned out cute. And here I was trying to show you how to cut the glass. And I was trying to show you the new nippers that I got. And I had put out a video from Sonia at Dragonfly Mosaics. She has I think she has a YouTube channel and a Facebook group. And I'm part of, I think I subscribe to both. And they have these nippers with this rubber there that instead of the glass flying, you know how I will say in my videos, you know, the way you point it is the way the glass will fly when you nip it. Well, this actually grabs the glass. But of course, in my video, I was taking a glass, not a plastic one, and I tried to do it down like this, and it just shattered everywhere. Of course, it didn't hold on to it. So I guess it's in your best interest, and I should know this by now, to cut your glass around this way and get a big piece that way. It's a more controlled break. And then once you get your big piece off, then draw on it what you want and nip around it to get your shape. So, and I was trying to do that a while ago on a video, a sailboat video, where I had little pieces of sailboats. I would try to draw the sailboat on there because I was trying to get the stripes the right way. And I just messed it all up. So you're better off cutting around this way, going like this with your nippers so that the cut goes this way and it kind of makes a triangle. And that's how you would do flower petals also. But then get a big enough piece so that you can draw on it and nip out what you want. So anyway, that was a big mistake I made. I should know better than that. But anyway, all in all, I think they turned out cute. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thought that would be real cute to give to one of your grandkids or something. You know, be mine. Anyway, what did I use? I used the TAMIYA spray paint for that. And then just over to make the stripes, I just used the marker again. And it worked perfect. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. If you enjoyed the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Check out the Facebook group. A lot of great ideas, a lot of help. If you have questions, I'm learning a lot. I think a lot of people on there are. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.